Well, it is time for the 71st running of the Macau Grand Prix. After an extraordinary day here at Macau, it is time for the main event, the Formula Regional World Cup. New machinery, still the same goal for everyone in the field. Who's going to come out on top? You're in the right place to find out. Hello everyone and welcome to Macau. It is time for the Formula Regional World Cup and it is great to have your company wherever you may be watching. And after a interesting qualification race which was hit by some rain, we did have some rain coming into this day which caused a major delay, meaning that the first action was the GTs. The bikes got fully cancelled, but now it is time for the Formula Regional World Cup. And Josh, of course, you were sleeping, but in that little break between the GTs and this, we had some extraordinary stuff, including a drag race to the line between the top two, separated by 8 thousandths of a second. So there's been some extraordinary things so far today in Macau. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to play out.
Yeah, and importantly, this one's going to start behind the safety car because it's still damp in certain areas of the circuit. So to remain fair, everyone's on dry tyres, but there's still puddles on the start line and down into the first corner. And judging by the characteristics of these drivers over the past couple of days, it's only safe enough to do so. But yeah, had another hour, then rushed in the bath and got ready for the rest of the day because we've got MotoGP straight on after this with warm up as well. But here we go. The 71st Macau Grand Prix is going to start immediately behind the safety car. I'm a bit saddened by that, but probably the safest idea.
Probably the safest idea, especially as we did have a crash off the line as well. A little bit more further, of course, down towards Lisboa, right at turn number 2. It was the crash yesterday. So we're going to get this one underway behind the safety car. It's Ugo Gutriku alongside Oli Gurtha, Noah Leon, Freddie Slater, Enzo Deligny, Matteo Di Paolo, James Walton, Rashid Aldaheri, Evan Gilter, Gina Beganovic, the top 10, and then Teo Fionao is in 11th, Yin Nakamura, Alex Dern, Valeria Renicella, Cooper Webster, Rentaro Sartre, Tiago Rodriguez, Jet Bowling, Kanato Lee, Kai Doriani, Kobayashi, Ruki Lee, and then Abkazawa, Kolnagi, Ogawa, Tappan, and Amari Boys at the back as the Macau Grand Prix is underway. As everyone moves away, we're behind the safety car. We should be getting racing hopefully at the end of this lap, but the Macau Grand Prix is officially underway.
Yep, and everyone gets away well. Now, Mari Boyer was sent to the back because you might remember yesterday in the qualifying race he stalled. And usually he then got going again and overtook everybody on the parade lap to the grid and then came straight to the pit lane. Now, he broke about several rules from that. He got black flagged because, one, a mechanic hopped over the wall, restarted the car with the battery. That's not allowed. Two, he overtook everyone on the formation lap even though everybody had already passed him. Not allowed. And he came into the pit lane when the pit lane was closed. So, 3 reasons for a black flag from Rui Marquez, the race director, to Mari Boyer. And as a result, he starts this one from the back of the grid. Did start, of course, 5th. Now has to fight back again. But watch out, Oli Goethe. It's going to be really strong. And now we're on the formation lap. You can kind of see why, because there's a dry line, but there's loads of wet patches still around the circuit. If they were still side by side, we'd see a lot of accidents.
Yeah, absolutely. We would have definitely seen quite a lot of accidents, but it is going to be Ugo Gutriku who is now going to need to try and nail the restart for sure. And Gertha is going to be coming along with him. Keep an eye on Freddie Slater. Had a lot of pace yesterday. We weren't able to see too much play out yesterday. Of course, we had a safety car at the start due to a incident, including Ogawa and also Tuka Tappanen off the start yesterday. Then we found ourselves, of course, racing for a few laps until it started raining. Cars went off at Lisboa. We got to the safety car, then to the red flag, and then for the remainder of the race, we got back out there under the safety car, and we finished the race under the safety car, meaning that we didn't actually get to see much running. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, though, and it means that Ugo Gutriku's tough task is about to get underway. But his life's a little bit more easier because with the standing start, I guess it guarantees you're going to have someone alongside you heading down to Lisboa. With this, if you nail the restart, you might be able to maintain the lead.
Yep, and at least we're not doing what we did in the TCR race that was very quickly rescheduled for after the GTs, where they didn't start. They started behind the safety car, but not on the grid. They started not even in the pit lane. They started in the paddock behind the safety car, spent 2 laps trying to focus everybody back up into the correct order for the race, and then got going. So quickly rescheduled to wrap up that championship because, of course, that was their final round of a point-scoring championship at Macau. Whereas here, it's just a Formula Regional World Cup, so everybody can come into it. As you said, they haven't done races in Formula 2 below the 2. And they can still come here and run in Macau. So it's Ollie Gertis last time, because he's going to move up permanently. But safety cars coming in as they head down towards Fisherman's Bend.
Yep, along with Dino Beganovic as well, who is going to be doing 2 races at the end of this year, and then most likely is going to secure himself a drive next season as well. So for quite a few drivers, some of their last time, and it means that for drivers like Ollie Goethe, this could be their last chance to ever drive around this iconic circuit, and this could be his last chance of taking the win. We're about to go green flag racing on these famous streets as Hugo Gachikru tries to nail this restart. Once again, green flags are out. We're racing here for the Macau Grand Prix, the 71st running of it, and it's Hugo Gachikru who will lead us out to the final corner, put his foot down, foot to the floor stop for him. Green flags out, we're racing once again, and it is Ollie Goethe in second, Noah Leon in third. Slater is slipstreaming his way down towards Lisboa now. He will be having a huge overtaking opportunity as we see them break the slipstream. Keep an eye on the red and white Prema of Freddie Slater, who's tucking in the slipstream. Started 7th yesterday, moved up to P4. Can he now move up to P3 in the main race side by side? We go to turn number 2. Noah Leon stays ahead, and Slater will need to tuck in. He'll need to tuck in behind. We look further back. There's another Prema going on the attack. That's Dino Beganovic trying to get past Jill Terre.
That's very good from Freddie Slater. He knows what he needs to do is the hot top Prema around the outside. Look at James Wharton in the ART. Oh, he's in the wall! And
he's into the wall!
His teammates hit him again, just like in qualifying. Oh, big one now. This will be a red flag.
Big pile up, and we've got a roadblock after we saw into the barrier for James Wharton. Here is Dino Beganovic as he now continues on board. We go with him. This will need to be a red flag, a pile up here in Macau, and that was always going to be someone. And into the wall, James Wharton trying to make a move on the opening lap, and you can see they're trying to reverse back out is Kobayashi.
We might just get away with this as well. There is a clearing that we can get the safety car through, but if they can get that crane and just get 2 cars out of the way, we might just get away with not having to red flag the race. No, never mind. Red flag's out.
Red flag is out. So, well, yeah, we did get a bit too excited with that one. Red flag's out, and it's just turning into that type of race already after we've had some good racing today. The ones that I've seen, we've not had a red flag. So look at this. Right, Wharton trying to go the long way around, and he just went a bit too deep in, went into the wall, was going to be collected, and was collected in the end by a bunch of cars who went straight off. We saw that for Alex Dunn 1 year ago, if we remember. This year it's Wharton, but unfortunately, we just saw people weren't able to avoid.
So Wharton hits the wall. Ivan Guillotin knocks off his rear tyre as well. And then, just to ram it home, Kanato Lee has been involved in that pile-up as well. So all 3 ARTs are out of the race already. And a massive pile-up down at Lisboa. And I thought we might just get away with it. Race suspension, come up on race control, red flags out. And there it is. That's probably the reason why, because we've got cars littered around the circuit. Shouldn't take too long. And we should be able to get this race restarted ASAP.
We should be hopefully able to indeed. But yeah, ART's disappointment again. And it was Jill Terre, it was Wharton on Friday as well, when they had the crash once again. It's happened for them as well. It means that we've got Al Daheri in 7th, Niall in 8th, Beganovic in 9th position now. And anything can happen in Macau, and we've seen it once again. Then Izugu Ugochukwu makes his way down to the pit lane. Goethe, Leon, still the top 3. The order is still maintained for our top 5. But it means now that we're going to hopefully get a quick recovery job, and hopefully we'll be able to get back out there. Until then, let's now quickly head over to the World Feed.
His miserable weekend has got no better. Who else did we lose out of all of that? Thiago Rodriguez was delayed. Jet Bowling, I think, is the other blue car in there. Kanato Lee picked up damage as well.
Dariani is there as well.
So now, look at that, 2 in 1 go being lifted. Very, very speedy effort this by the marshals to get the track clear as soon as possible.
We saw it earlier on, didn't we? It took 1 lap under a safety car to get multiple cars, which completely blocked the circuit down at Lisboa, to get them all out of the way. You couldn't believe it when the camera got back to Lisboa and there were no cars. A minute ago, the track was completely blocked. Very impressive. So too was Ugo. That start was perfect, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. It's a shame in a way we didn't see a grid start, but we know the reasons for it. There's another one that has stopped on that lap, possibly
That's Sato.
with damage.
That's when Arto Sato's gone off the circuit and just come to a stop.
Is that Rintaro Sato, possibly? Yeah. Just trying to work out, because I don't think he's made it through the last sector, so possibly after the Macau hairpin, Sato's got a problem. It is indeed Rintaro Sato, and he has come to a halt, so that car is going to need a moving.
It is, yeah, and climbing out the car. I got the feeling he was going through various procedures inside the cockpit of the car to get the car fired up once again, but they have amounted to nothing, and unfortunately having to leap out of the car now. So very sad end to a debut at Macau. See how quick that is to clear up the cars and pop them in quite an expensive car park on the inside of Lisboa.
And on the far right, people outside the circuit in the parade of shops suddenly see a racing car heading towards them, because it does remind you that normal life continues. Right, so there is Rintaro Sato. The recovery vehicle arrives to take his car to a safer place. And with the road almost clear, we can then think about the resumption of the Macau Grand Prix. So this is what triggered it all. It was Ugo Ugochukwu in the lead from Oliver Goethe, Noah Leon, Freddie Slater fourth, Enzo Dellini defended fifth from DeParlo. Wharton on the outside just didn't quite have enough room. He was clipped by Evan Gilter, and then others went charging into the melee. One or two on the inside were able to see what was coming, slow right down, and just wriggle their way through. How did Alex Darwin see it? Let's go on board and find out. Reservoir Bend down towards the fast right of Mandarin. Foot nailed to the boards here. Bit of a lift for Mandarin, back on the throttle. This is brave. Down through the gears. Hug the inside. Car ahead, go to the outside. Try and get as much room around the corner. And contact. I think Dunn got caught up in that, was possibly just tipped into the air, rode over somebody's wheel. Further back, from penultimate on the grid, took a tapper and saw this.
No problem. Lots of places made up.
Absolutely.
All in one go.
All of a sudden being at the very back was an advantage.
A real advantage, yeah. Great to get those on-board shots and to see what it is from the driver's point of view, those split-second decisions that you have to take, sometimes paying off, sometimes nowhere to go at all.
Dino Beganovic then up into 9th place now, gaining a place on that first lap. But there's a face that says it all. Big disappointment for some drivers out of the race already. And when you consider that you get 2 qualifying, 2 practice sessions, 2 races on the timetable, for many, because of the nature of the circuit and the number of incidents, they get precious little running around this circuit.
Very little indeed. The way things are these days for young drivers, they will know the circuit so very, very well as far as the sim is concerned, but actually seat time is a little bit different. Looking in at Noel Leon, who had that problem when the cars went off the grid.
It's another replay from on board with Beganovic. Big twitch, big slide going through the right-hander Mandarin. Right, going down towards Lisboa, there might be contact. Let's just listen in, see if we can hear whether Beganovic gets collected. Yeah, I think he did. He was hit from the back, wasn't he? That's what turned him sideways. It wasn't that he was necessarily trying to avoid Wharton, although he had to. But I think the opposite lot was applied because he got a back in the attack in the back of the car. Number 20 there, with possibly a little bit of damage to Jin Nakamura's car being looked at. So we await a restart time. A few of the teams with a little bit of repair work to do, maybe.
Yeah, and it is such a hive of activity when these stoppages happen and the teams immediately go into action to get the cars turned around and get them back to race fit, race ready, and they'll be hoping that the gap that they have is a little longer perhaps, but the trackside marshals, the workers, are able to clear things very, very quickly. A look in at Freddie Slater underneath the umbrella, pretty much for the first time, to keep cool and keep shielded from the sunshine.
Road's clear, so hopefully now we can move towards getting the race back underway. Cranes hover in readiness of their next necessity. Crane crews have been busy down there. Business has been picking up over the weekend. And number 2, you can see, which is Valerio Rinicella's car in the pit lane with the survivors, ready to be released. So we are not yet being told a restart time, but the road is clear, I think, unless Sato's car still needs to be brought back. Then hopefully we can get things back underway. To be another safety car start, of course. The safety car will bring them out of the pit lane back onto the circuit.
Yeah, and Sato's car may take a little while longer because presumably that's going to be on a recovery vehicle with lifting equipment as well, if required. So not on one of the cars. Oh, very good. So we're hearing that that car is cleared from the circuit. So it's not going to be too long down in pit lane. That's good news. Maybe not good news for some of the teams that are working to repair the cars, but good news for us race fans trackside.
So the drivers stay, of course, in the cars in most cases, but those that are out of the race have to just survey the damage now, including there you just saw in the background Jet Bowling's car. Poor old Jet's been in the wars quite a lot this weekend, and it's so disappointing when you've made the commitment to come from the other side of the world for so little mileage.
And it's all the build-up, isn't it? It's a 4-day meeting. Most of the drivers, if not all of them, will have not really experienced a 4-day meeting, a day of free practice, a day of qualifying, every possible weather condition as well. And it all builds to this. And when it finishes before you've completed one lap, the disappointment is huge. I suppose the only solace that they can seek is the fact that there are many other names in the history of the Macau Grand Prix that have stood the other side, the wrong side of the barrier, and watched the race unfold.
And there's a driver, James Wharton, who came with big aspirations, a big reputation, but it's been a tough weekend for the Australian. He's been racing in the European Series predominantly, also raced in GB3 at Silverstone and FIA F3 at the British Grand Prix weekend. Kolnagi's car in the pit road. So the track clear as far as we can tell, but we're still under this race suspension for the next few minutes. Whether there's something else that race control had spotted and is unhappy with.
Potentially there is. There was no one working down at Lisboa on the circuit or the track furniture, was there? The tyre stacks on the outside of the wall that took a bit of a bump. The number 6 car of Tuka Tappanen's car is great speed around the gear circuit here at Macau, and this may well be an opportunity for plenty of paces to be made up in the Grand Prix.
Laps permitting. There's an hour time slot for the Grand Prix. Of course, the longer they sit motionless in the pit lane, the closer to the end of that hour time slot they will get. But fingers crossed. And the fans being patient, but thinking hopefully that the cars will be on track very shortly. Find themselves in the crowd and have a wave, though.
To keep them happy, they see themselves on the television screen. Race will be resumed at 57, so 3:57 local time. It is 3:46 local time.
So 10 minutes and a bit.
So a little bit more time required before we get the race back underway. There must be something that we can't see around the circuit.
I think it's partly, though, that when you are dealing under an FIA rule book, you have to do a 10-minute countdown as you would on the grid, rather than just restart on short notice. So once everybody is happy that the track is clear, then you can start that countdown of approx 10 minutes. And it will be, of course, a safety car restart, because the safety car will bring them out of the pit lane. First time we've seen FR machinery around here, Formula 3 style cars, but still serious bits of kit. 255 kilometers an hour. They can do 0 to 100 from a standing start in 3.3 seconds. 267 horsepower, and these 2-litre Alfa Romeo badged Autotecnica Motori engines in the back this weekend.
for a couple of years, we had the honour of the car for the Macau Grand Prix being a Formula 4 car, and that invited some real star drivers on the very first step of their car racing single-seater career to shine here, and they equipped themselves incredibly well, didn't they, the F4 cars and drivers, and to pay them back and to say thank you very much for that, they were offered a headline first weekend of a two-weekender last year to celebrate the 70th Macau Grand Prix. They raced as the headline single-seater race on the first weekend to celebrate 70 years of the Macau Grand Prix, and then it was back to the Formula 3 cars in the second year. So it gets mixed up now at Macau. We have a variety of machinery all competing, and this is great to have FR cars here at Macau, and to welcome drivers from championships all over the world is very much what the spirit of the Macau Grand Prix has always been about.
Indeed so. The American driver Ugo Ugochukwu in the lead as we stand. And the last time we had an American winner, go back to 1981. In that era, it was Formula Atlantic. It was a bit of a sort of catch-all single-seater championship. Formula Atlantic cars ran on one side of the world. They were Formula Pacific badged on the other. But Bob Earl, the American, won, denying Jeff Lee's 3 in a row. Roberto Moreno the year after. But then for 1983 onwards, the late, great Barry Bland got involved with the Macau organisers and made Formula 3 the category of choice, and that really was what made the event take off, wasn't it, for so many years? It
really did. And just looking down the names that have won this Macau Grand Prix, it is a who's who of motorsport greats over the years. To pick out just a couple: Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, and many others besides, including Takuma Sato in 2001. This race really does attract the very best drivers on the planet. So, in the sunshine here at Macau, it's always peculiar to look over to the other side of the paddock and see normal life, people carriers, everything going on around the Grand Prix, taxis all doing their business, and they will be on this tarmac in just a couple of hours. It's an incredible thought, really, that once this stops being for another year, the race circuit, it is the normal hustle and bustle of an amazing part of the world. Macau is, if you've not done it, and you're thinking about having a bit of a trip and taking a bit of motorsport, have a look at how much it costs to get, wherever you are in the world, how much it costs to get to Macau, because it is well worth it. Nothing like it in the world.
And there's so much more to see than just a race. And, of course, one of the features of the Grand Prix is that it takes Macau images around the world. The Macau you see in the daytime could be a different part of the world completely from that you see at night, when everywhere lights up, because big and bold and brash and bright, all the neon lights of the casinos, then it has a completely different feel again, doesn't it?
The joys of LED lighting,
yes,
and the colours that they bring to such a vibrant part of the world. Spot on cue.
You've just made that guy's day, Mr. Director, well done. Gosh, the fans keeping the spirits up as they wait for the resumption of the race. Also goes to show you how busy it is and how much of a family affair. Lots of fans, young and old. So everybody waves, everybody happy, and they're looking to the pit lane, the pit buildings, the permanent buildings of the Macau Grand Prix Committee on the outside of the circuit, overlooking the pit lane, or on top of the pit lane. Oliver Goethe then, currently second in the race. And now we're looking at a 5-minute countdown. So 5 minutes to go, we're being told from race control. Lots of people in the grandstand eagerly finding themselves. There you go. You wave and you video yourself waving, of yourself waving and videoing yourself waving. Yes.
It's such a happy place.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is.
It is such a happy place.
One or two people being a bit more vigorous than others. But right now, we're in neutral, and Ugo Ugochukwu is ready for the resumption. As I say, we've been educated into dropping the W, so we're learning fast. But Ugochukwu, Goethe and Leon, the palindromic Mexican in third place, ready for the resumption of the race.
Ugo has made no mistakes over the course of the Macau weekend in 2024, and that is a very good way of ensuring success here at Macau. Mistakes, however small, can cost dearly, and Ugo in his second year at Macau has done everything absolutely right so far, and none of these spectators from around the world are in the least bit impatient to get things back underway. They are enjoying the atmosphere and everything about the Macau Grand Prix. This, everyone, is what this event is all about.
It is indeed. Happy, smiling faces, and looking forward to seeing racing cars back on track. The dignitaries haven't been waving quite so vigorously, but I think they are looking forward likewise to the resumption of the race, which is now about 4 minutes away, give or take. So it won't be long before engines fire once more. There's a 3-minute board indeed. So the safety car will lead them away, and you're familiar with this by now, I'm sure, but as soon as they leave the pit lane, the race is back on. There's no reforming on the grid. It's a race suspension, not stopping, but suspended. So we carry on where we left off, behind the safety car, which is refueled, I think, again, because it's been pretty busy today. And the BMW safety car has certainly been well advertised, that's for sure. Ugo Chukwu, race leader.
He's got these starts when the safety car peels off absolutely right so far. Oliver Goethe, second time of asking, was a little bit wiser to it. Let's see what happens this time, because Oliver Goethe, we know, has got massive speed this weekend. The car and the driver, the combination, very, very good indeed. If he can just get this start, if he can keep with Ugo, then we may well have a very, very evenly matched battle on our hands for the top step of the podium for the 2024 Macau Grand Prix.
So looking down to Ugo Chukwu. There's Oliver Goethe's display on the dash. Big N saying that he's in neutral, ready to put the car in gear once it's fired up, and make his way out of the pit lane. And that's in about 1.5 minutes time now, as we edge closer and closer to the resumption of the Macau Grand Prix. And let us hope that we can get through the rest of it without further drama. The drivers don't want it to be interrupted. We certainly don't. The fans certainly don't. Yes, on occasions, if there's an accident, it's inevitable. Of course, with it being an FIA race under the international regulations, you can't have marshals going trackside if the race is live, so you either have to stop it or at least put a safety car out so they can jump over. Even if it's only one car and it needs the crane and it's a sort of 10-second lift out of the way, you still have to go through that process to neutralise the race for them. But the 1-minute board is shown.
4 minutes to 4 local time here at Macau.
Absolutely. We get ready once again to go racing. We're going to have the exact same procedure. We just got to hope that they keep it clean this time around. And, well, Slater had one go at Leon. So far, wasn't able to make the move. This time around, what is Ugo Chukwu and Oli Goethe going to be able to do? As mentioned earlier, Ugo Chukwu has nailed every single safety car. Restart, Goethe's got to come up with something now.
He really does, as well. As I've just sent you a tweet for a stat that you can read out if that happens. But yeah, 13 laps then with a suspended race. Safety car now deployed. Let's see what's going to happen. My money definitely on Oli Goethe, but Ugo has been absolutely on a mission, it seems, the last couple of days. Since the qualifying started second, won the race yesterday, now he's on course for today. 7 cars out as the race resumes.
Absolutely. Race back underway, back to safety car mode, and back to Ugo Chukwu leading Oli Goethe right now out onto the circuit, but we'll go racing very, very shortly. So, just to quickly run you through the order, just so everyone is aware, as a lot happened under that. Right before the red flag. Ugo Chukwu, of course, right now finds himself in first, with Oli Goethe in second. Noah Leon in third, Freddie Slater, then Enzo Deligny, Matteo Di Paolo ahead of his teammate Rashid Al-Dahiri, Teofil Nile, Dino Beganovic up to 9th, Nakamura in 10th. Alex Dunn had some damage, according to Prema. Hopefully they've been able to recover that. They did say that they were working on it during the red flag. then we have Rinicella in 12th, Cooper Webster, Alexander Abkazava, Mateo Kolnagi, Mariboya, Tuka Tapanen, Ruiki Lee, Sota Ogawa, and then Kobayashi, Wharton, Gilter, Sato Rodriguez, Jet Bowden, Kanatali, and Kai Dariani. Some of your retirements as well, as we go on board with a Swedish driver in what possibly is his final time racing around Macau, because he's doing 2 rounds for Formula 2 this year, and then most likely going to get a full-time seat for next year.
Feel sorry for ART to come all this way and have all 3 cars crash out. And those, of course, were 2 cars that crashed into each other as well in practice earlier on this week. And then we had the 2 Premers crashing into each other in normal qualifying. It's just been a miserable weekend for everybody. And a lot of red flags. Let's hope we don't have another one, eh? Because we're already delayed an extra 10 minutes. We've already been on for 30, so delays have sort of put us back somewhat. But safety car is in this lap. Now this race, 2 minutes apiece, 13 to go. It should take around about 26 more minutes for completion. Not too long then to get out there on the circuit. But I'm expecting more safety cars and maybe another red flag. We had, what, a couple last year, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, we had one last year for Paul Aaron, who was facing the wrong way. It seems like we do come here sometimes, and Prema, ART, some of the big teams that we know definitely don't have the best of times. And Beganovic and John have both got unlucky this weekend so far a lot. John, of course, had a lot of pace on Friday. Of course, he found himself in the wall with his teammate. Then, of course, yesterday, he was out of position. He had to make his way through. We got a 1-place grid penalty for overtaking when there was a car off the road with the yellows out. And then today, of course, he got hit. Prema, don't know how much of the car they've been able to repair after he got hit as well. So that is going to be the interesting thing to see. If we do see Alex Dunn drop down, then we probably do know why. But is Ugo Ogachukwu going to be able to do it? Now, yesterday, he maintained it for a few laps yesterday. But that's really the only thing he had to do. We know that he's brilliant at restarts. He's done that. Today, if we can get some green flag running in, it might be a different story, as Goethe will try to put the pressure. Leon will be directly in behind, and then keep an eye on Freddie Slater, because he's been another driver who has nailed the restarts. We've seen him gain lots of places so far this weekend from where he started the qualifying race. Can he make some more up now? Ugo Ogachukwu has put his foot down once again. The master of restarts leads us back to the green flags very shortly, with Goethe in behind. It seems like Noah Leon is still going to have to defend from Freddie Slater, who will be in behind as we go racing once again on these famous streets with Ugo Ogachukwu, P1.
Good restart from everybody as they come down towards turn number 1. Beganovic as well might get a slipstream. It'd all be the run down towards Lisboa, though. That's going to be the question, because these cars can slipstream. Look at Ogachukwu already having to dive out of the way. But Goethe didn't get the best restart. He's under pressure from Noel Leon as well. Look at Freddie Slater, just like he was in the original start, getting such a run. He's going to look to the inside line to Noel Leon, who's now going to attack Goethe 3 wide further back.
Yeah, it's about to get really close. Can Noah Leon get ahead of Ollie Goethe? Into the braking zone of Lisboa, the 2 Premers, Dunn and Beganovic side by side. In the background, who's going to come out? In front, can they keep it out of the wall? That was super close for Teofil Nile there, who was nearly in the wall there. Getting through to the inside is where we see Dino Beganovic losing a couple of places. So Beganovic losing out as through goes Nakamura momentarily to take the place, and also going through is Cooper Webster, I believe. So Beganovic loses a couple of places there. Ugo Ogachukwu still with the lead, and Goethe was able to stay ahead of Noel Leon.
Yeah, Winston didn't get through either. Thought he might have. He had a look on the inside line coming into the maternity bend, but that got shut down as we head through the S's. Goethe did not make that best start. He's now losing the rear tyre as well, so he's sliding around everywhere. Noel Leon might just be able to nip ahead of him as well in the Pinnacle Motorsport car as we come down towards the hairpin section now. So they'll have to be careful. A little lock up there from Goethe as well into turn 14. Just makes it through safely as well. But the 2 Premers making battle and almost into the wall as well when now, and I thought he was going to go into it as well. The way he took that corner, just got on the damp patch and drifted wide.
Goethe seems like he's on the back foot. He's got Noah Leon right now, the Mexican driver who will be driving for Prema next year. Next year in Formula 3 as well. So will Ugo Gachukwu. So he will be also heading there. The McLaren Junior right now. The Oli Goethe is going to try shape back. He's going to try fight back because he was the favorite. He was the favorite, the highest regarded driver coming into this. Has done 2 rounds of Formula 2 and was a championship contender in Formula 3 as well. So he has a lot of expectation, but he's got the right now a driver who didn't really do too well in the Formula Regional Championship earlier
Safety car!
on, and the safety car's out.
What happened there?
So is it? It'll be
Ooh.
interesting to see. We've got the
PHM
safety car out once again.
Lee Rui hasn't crossed the timing line. He's stuck sector 3, Omi. So I reckon we've got a car off the circuit somewhere, and that's the reason for the safety car. Yes, it is, yeah. Yeah, car stopped exit turn 15. So someone's thrown it into the barrier. Can't get more than a lap, can we, at the moment? That was a very late call for the safety car.
It really doesn't seem like.
Mm.
It is quite random as well. We didn't really see it in the in our shot at all.
No, they've missed it. Yeah, so the safety car hasn't picked them up. So that was a very late call from Rui Marquez. Kind of worries me that he's made that late a call when he's the race director now for Formula 1. Because look, there's no safety car there, so they're all going to go to the pace, but there's no safety car. So that's a bad decision from the race director there. That should have been made a call much, much earlier. I mean, there's 22 turns, and we're already at turn 15. Yeah, that should have been an easy call. That's a very easy call to go out.
Yeah. Wouldn't say he's had the best weekend either. With earlier on the Friday, where he got the red flag in and then red flagged it again because he didn't see that there was pit work that need the pitch barrier. So he, there we go. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why we have the safety car. So yeah, not having the best of weekend, which is not the best impression, knowing as everyone knows that he will be Formula 1 race director from next week around this time. Yeah, the Las Vegas Grand Prix would have ended.
Let's have a look at Tuukka Tappinen. Oh, he got very lucky to avoid it again. But yeah, not exactly the greatest advertisement here for Rui Marquez. And there's a lot more work you have to do as a Formula 1 race director. You have to homologate the circuit on the Thursday, then send them out for the high-speed test runs with the safety car. Then you have to also make the race director's notes. You have to do all the other series as well. There's a lot of work as race director. And I don't think he's been deputy race director, but I don't think he's in that procedure to do so. And to only get a week's notice and still be in Macau, yeah. I'm not exactly liking that idea. But Niels Rittich, of course, didn't leave voluntarily, was fired by the FIA, specifically Mohammed Ben Salah. And we'll talk about that more when we get to Vegas. Yeah. That'll be a lot of free practice one time to whoever's in the box.
Absolutely. Of course, as we get another early weekend going for the Las Vegas Grand Prix as well. Of course, Saturday race there. But that will be coming up. Also, Formula 2 and F1 Academy action coming up as well in Qatar and Abu Dhabi. They are going to be crowning champions, as well F1 as well. So all three still yet to crown a champion. F2 seems like that's going to go the distance. F1 Academy, F1 seem like we know who's probably going to win it with that. But yeah, Dino Beganovic, of course, also heading with Dams to Formula 2. Rumours about him going to High-Tech, though, for next year, as we get all of those rumours coming in. And a lot of these drivers are trying to get into Formula 3. Some of them, of course, have succeeded, including the man who leads the race right now, Ugo Gachukwu. And, of course, he's part of the McLaren Academy as well. So he's doing really, really well.
Safety car's finally turned up as well.
There we go. Hello, safety car.
So
hopefully should be in by the end of this lap then.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that long. 19 left in the race. It's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
Mari Boyer up 12 places from where he started the race. So Mari Boyer is right now having quite a lot of fun out there as well, making some overtakes from the back. So he'll look to try continue. Beganovic lost out on the restart, so he'll need to try gain some positions on this restart. But that's the thing, Lisboa, it's always so close. So many cars battling one piece of tarmac down to one braking zone, it can usually end in tears, and it usually does do for plenty of drivers. And lots of drivers who, of course, found the wall yesterday or earlier on in the weekend weren't able to get a good qualifying in, trying now to recover it in this weekend and trying to end Macau at a high, because, I mean, you just don't know when you're
No.
going to be invited back for this as well. You just don't know when, if you'll ever be able to have a chance to win this again.
It's one of those ones that every driver wants on their CV. You can come back as a GT driver, but it doesn't quite mean the same. To win the Formula race is the ultimate. That is what it is. That's the Macau Grand Prix. It's a Formula race. The GTs are World Cups, and it's the same for the bikes as well. Win the bike race, win the car race. That's how it goes. But yeah. Kind of disappointed. Everyone's disappointed that we haven't been able to run the bikes. I am as well. It's not fair.
Absolutely isn't. They came here to, well, race on this famous weekend. All they've had is rain and all sorts of delays, postponements, and now even cancellations as well. So it's been very unfortunate for them as well. But hopefully next year we are going to be able to get some bike racing back going. We're on board with Alex Dunn. He'll be looking to go forward, try join his teammate in the higher positions as well. One of the favourites coming into this weekend, Alex Dunn. He's still got 10 laps to go. He's still got lots to happen in front of him. I am absolutely sure of that, as they're still trying to recover that car right now.
Yeah, it's not going well, is it? That's going to be another lap behind the safety car then, so we'll be left with possibly 8 laps of running in this race. So take your time. It's not like we're running out or anything. We've only had 1 lap of running in full speed, and then we've had safety cars, red flags, and that lot. Just come on, let's get some racing. It's Macau. Maybe the GT is more of the actual racing. They didn't have a safety car, I don't think. Did they? No, they started behind the safety car. That was it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they didn't get a choice whether they start behind the safety car or not. There's nothing that they could do or decide about that. They're now going to repair it. The safety car will trundle them round once again. And Ugo Gochukwu now is just going to be preparing, because he knows that the restart's going to be critical. After the restart, it is hard to overtake, and it can mean that drivers do get stuck behind each other. And also, if another driver is going to try to overtake, they're risking going into the wall. There's a lot that they are risking, meaning that the safety car restart definitely can be a huge opportunity with the slipstream all the way down towards Lisboa, as it's already been proven. So that will be very, very exciting. I am sure of it. So we're going to have 1 more lap, and then by the next time around, it should be absolutely clear, and then we will probably be able to go back to running this weekend. Freddie Slater, of course, who raced here last year, but however, in the F4 race, they ran an F4 event. They ran a few other events as well a week before, so it was a 2-week event, the Macau Grand Prix last time out, and they ran the F4 race, which also did have lots of safety cars and lots of chaos and all of that stuff that kept happening. But I guess we have this year more younger drivers coming in. We have drivers coming in from all sorts of Formula Regional Championships as well. Before, it used to mostly be a lot of Formula 2 and Formula 3, then with some talented Formula Regional European Champion drivers as well. So I think it was expected that we would get a little bit more of a chaotic weekend, but I didn't know we would be getting so many red flags.
It's been that kind of weekend, isn't it? And the rain has been really unexpected on all 4 days to be affected by rain. It's never really happened before in Macau. In 71 years, to have rain on all 4 days, and the schedule will be so disrupted, and to lose not just the motorcycles, but a couple of other races as well. Maybe next year we should do 2 weeks. Just saying. Maybe
yeah,
that
absolutely. Next week, it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
To do 2 weeks as well. Well, it's been a good day of racing so far. Definitely, I think if Formula Region can get going, then it would end a very extraordinary day of racing. Brilliant stuff in the GTs, and then of course the TCR coming to a close with their championship. A fantastic race for them, and then followed by 0.008 of a second drag race to the line in one of the lower GT class support series this weekend as well. So 8 thousandths to the line between the top two. You don't really get drag races usually to the line in any form of racing usually, but you do see, but especially on a street circuit, absolutely extraordinary for those type of cars. So that was an extraordinary finish earlier on, but now the safety car is coming in. So finally we can get this race back underway, and Alex Dunn is definitely going to be attempting to go forward.
Oh, fantastic news! Come on, let's go racing. I want a good race here. Last year, you got all the limelight with having a great race, and you came back after Vegas and said, "Oh, you missed a classic. It was a great race." And I was like, "Damn." This year, I'm like, "Right, come on, show me what you've got." GT was fantastic. We've seen a couple of other great ones, but I want to see what Formula Regional can do. And these FR cars, it's still basically the same DNA, single-seaters who had a really tight street circuit, and it's going to kick off a championship day as well. And breaking news before we go back to green, everybody can cheer because Stefano Domenicali is leaving Formula One as CEO as we will go back to green. Best news all year!
Well, I mean, I think you might be heading to MotoGP instead. That's one thing.
No!
Ugo Chikru is about to take us back to green flag racing with big news for Formula One. Bad news, I think, for MotoGP with how the rumours are. But Ugo Chikru put his foot down out of the final corner in a few moments' time. Once again, he has nailed that restart. It's Goethe, then it is Noah Leon. Freddie Slater once again away well as they put their foot down. Who is going to be able to tuck in the slipstream and go for some moves? Enzo Deligny under a bit of pressure. Matteo Di Paolo pulling alongside. He was drawing alongside momentarily. Now he's back to the wheel tracks, back to the slipstream. Lisboa is going to get very, very interesting once again. And here we go. Can Di Paolo put the pressure on? Side by side in the background, you can see Dino Beganovic is trying to get past as well. Cooper Webster, he's trying to make the move. Goethe slipstreaming his way towards Ugo Chukwu, the teammates momentarily. Both trying to defend. Big lock up. Can Noah Leon make the corner? Can Slater get involved? Slater's going to be stuck in behind. To the inside goes Alex Dunn. That's close to contact between himself and Teofil Niall. He's got the inside line. I think he was able to get ahead as we're on board with Dino Beganovic.
Beganovic having a great run now as well behind Webster. Up there we go again. Looks to the inside line. Can't get it. Now tries to cut back. This is Nui Nakarama just ahead of him now as well. Beganovic, not exactly HD picture of the camera, are they? It looks like they're using a GoPro. They need to get it a bit stabilised there through maternity bend down towards the S's. Looks to be good to me, though. What a restart. And once again, Ugo just keeping his calm. This guy is a talent for the future. He's racing with, of course, RHGP, but if he can hold back Ollie Goethe, who has somewhat been a star across the junior formulas in the Formula One paddock area, you've got to think, well, get him up to F3. He is in F3 next year, but, like, come on, I'm going to keep an eye on what we're going to see from him as well. Talent and a half.
Yeah, absolutely as well. So he is going to be one to watch, as is Freddie Slater, an impressive driver who, remember, you have Ugo Chukwu, who's making his way from Formula Regional to Formula Regional still, but up against Formula 3, Formula 2 drivers. Freddie Slater's coming from Italian F4. That's completely different as well than this. Of course, still low-powered cars, but he's driving the Formula Regional machinery for the first time, so he's being very impressive to also be ahead of plenty of drivers who've driven this car all year. So that's quite impressive. 8 laps as well to go on in this one, as we see from the rear wheel of Slater looking back to Di Paolo. But Ugo Chukwu 1 second over the line, and it seems like he's got the gap right now over Goethe, but Goethe's going to try his best to keep the pressure on.
Look at Slater. He's got a fantastic run behind Noel Leon through our bend down to Mandarin. And look at that, he's snaking there, snaking right. Noel Leon can sense him, it's low as well. He's going to try and break that toe, but Slater has kept right in it as well. What's he going to do? Foot throttle? Yes, he is. Down towards the Mandarin now, down towards Lisboa. Is he going to have a go? Look at Noel Leon, you can't do that. You can't move more than once to defend. Leon's going to get a warning for that, Omi, I can guarantee you.
Alex Dunn just ahead of Teofil Niall. That's very close between those two further back as well. But yeah, Noel Leon doing everything to keep behind this young star who is the Italian F4 champion earlier this year as well, a few weeks ago. That championship rounded out as well. He's moving to Formula Regional next year, the European Championship as well with Framer Racing, so they're promoting him up, and then possibly Formula 3 the year after, then F2, then could F1 await with how his career has been so far. A record-breaking 15 wins, beating Antonelli's record earlier this year for Freddie Slater. So he is definitely one to watch for the future as well. And right now, though, he has the challenge of overtaking on these tough streets. And it's all about where can you get close, where can you put the pressure on. And Slater definitely is going to need to. But as we see, I think that's just a timing glitch momentarily.
Yeah,
Ugo dropping down for some reason.
It has to be a timing glitch. He couldn't have made that big of a mistake. There's no one on that place to make a mistake. Goethe, hang on a minute. There's Goethe early on. Yeah, timing glitch. Yeah, because there is Ugo Chu leading the race with Ollie Goethe in P2. Yeah, there he is one. There's Goethe, there's the on. Yeah, so it is a timing error. Thank God for that. I was like, where's he gone off? There's no places for him to make a mistake that could lose him. Yeah, Ugo Chu still leads the race.
He's still leading as they do battle for second and third position as well. So that would be an interesting fight that goes on. Slater right now just tucking in behind a bit more further back after going on the attack a few moments ago.
MP slow. Now, is that Matteo Colonaghi who's dropping back, or is it Valo Risella? Debris on track at turn 22. I think it's the number 2.
Definitely could be. Opportunity now. Here we go with Noah Leon. He was the one going on the defensive. Now he's the one going on the attack. And he will be trying to get himself closer and closer as we head down to Lisboa. Can he put the pressure? Goethe will defend to the inside. They're all trying to do the cutback in the background, the two teammates, and that is going to be Rashid Al-Daheri versus Matteo Di Paolo. In the background as well, we've got Dun, who stays ahead of Teofil Nal, who is trying to get the exit, and Dun cuts across to make sure that he is maintaining the position as we still look to Leon and we still look to Goethe, and this battle that is currently going over second as they both try and close in on Ugo Chukwu.
Yeah, the MP touched the wall and it's damaged the suspension as well, and that is going to be that is the number 2 car out of the race. Unfortunately, hit the wall too hard for the MP, so that is out of the race for Valero Rinsella.
Indeed, so there will be disappointment to be out as well. Luckily though, we continue on racing, and Ugo Chukwu pulling away. This is absolutely extraordinary stuff from him, as Goethe has much more bigger issues right now, as he's definitely got Leon and then soon Slater on the back. You also got the Red Bull Junior of Enzo De Ligoni, who has had that type of weekend, losing out to Freddie Slater yesterday. He's found himself just staying in P5, keeping close right now with all of these drivers. And Goethe, when it looked like he may dominate this weekend coming into it, it seems like he's the one finding himself on the defensive, as here is Dino Beganovic, and he is right now stuck behind Nakamura.
Yeah, but downhill towards Fisherman's Bend as well. Beganovic, really wish they'd sort out the focus on this camera that we're watching. It's quite shaky. But Ollie Goethe now responding. He's 2:19.599, so he's 1.5 seconds behind Ugo at the moment. But with 5 to go, it's an amazing lap time what we're seeing here. But here's Beganovic again, flying into the last corner. You can carry a bit more power through there, Dino. Come on, put your foot down a bit more. Over the line again. Great job, though, I think, by Freddie Slater. The only one not to crash in qualifying. Did really well in the qualifying race yesterday. Now he's doing really well here now in the main Grand Prix.
Continuing to prove his talent. Let's look further back. We're on board with Dino Beganovic, who has got Nakamura ahead, but for how much longer? He looks to the outside line. We've got a battle in front as well, and that's going to be Webster versus Teofil now. It's going to be close into the braking zone. Could that be contact? And that's Dune on the back of Al-Daheri. Very nearly contact between the two of them in the end of their race, and we've got car slowing then as well.
Ogawa. So that's the TGM out of it. Safety car.
As yesterday.
Yes, it is, yeah. And TFR now has been given a black and white flag. This could cause a safety car omen because it's where it is on the circuit. It's down towards Mandarin.
Could cause a critical safety car, which could give Goethe another opportunity. And it could give us another restart as well. But Ugo Chukwu has absolutely nailed every single restart so far. We're waiting. News, will it be a safety car?
Oh, I don't know, how's that happen? It looks like it hasn't bounced off the safety cars out. It hasn't bounced off the barrier. It looked like the brakes came on midway down the straight. That's a strange one to me. I'd love to see a replay if we get another angle of it. But safety car's out to neutralise the race. Now, we could go racing with 2 to go, Omi. That's going to be quite fun.
Yeah, could go racing and get what we didn't get yesterday, which would be which would be quite interesting as well. If they will get to work and try repair that car, and we will now wait and see for Ugo Gachikru, who keeps getting hit by plenty of restarts and plenty of tasks as well. Ugo Gachikru now has done it quite a few times. Ollie Goethe must be assessing every time it happens, and I think he really needs to now try and go with Ugo. I think Goethe is going to be his big opportunity. It doesn't seem like he has the most pace anyway to challenge and overtake, which you would expect when he came into this weekend, but no. He's stuck behind. He's trying more to defend, so he needs to just go all in on the restart to try to do this.
110% is needed for Ollie now. As it's out of turn 1 down the back straight then, so it's near turn 2 at Mandarin. No damage across the circuit. Look. You can see where I think the brakes have just come on. I think he knew it was dying and the brakes kept on.
Quite weird to see how that one has happened, but they'll hopefully get to work and get rid of that car as soon as possible. Ugawa retires at the same place in both races as well, so around the same area for him, and he'll leave this race very, very disappointed in this whole weekend. Very disappointed. Definitely has not gone his way, and the marshals will get to work on what's been a very busy weekend for them, along with also the safety car that's been used quite a bit, and it's been one of those crazy weekends here in Macau. As you mentioned, rain on all 4 days. That's really interrupted all sorts of running, as the sun really now starts to get in the driver's eye at this stage, as we get near towards the end of the day and the final event, of course, the big one here. And Chuka Tappanen tries to just salvage anything he can and tries to enjoy these last few moments. He right now finds himself in 16th. He'll want to go on the attack. He'll want to try get ahead of Kolnagi and Abkazawa. Those are the 2 drivers that are in front of him. So let's hope that they get this cleared quickly, so we can get a few more laps in and basically get what we didn't get yesterday and end the 71st running of the Macau Grand Prix on a high.
Simon Patterson has just put out, rumours about MotoGP jobs started by people who've never been to the MotoGP paddock should probably be taken with a pinch of salt. So thank God. Shame that we're not getting rid of Stefano Domenicali for F1, but if we put him in MotoGP, it would be a nightmare. He knows nothing about the sport, so no. Big no. He's killed F1.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah, we'll have street races for motorbikes and everyone...
Well, next thing you know, MotoGP's racing around here.
Yeah.
Well, a MotoGP race around here, that would not end well, and probably he'd get them to race in the wet as well.
Yeah, probably would.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good at all if Stefano Domenicali heads over to MotoGP. Let's just get rid of him from F1 and just not put him anywhere else.
Yes, exactly.
He can just chill and watch the sport, and hopefully we get someone new who's good for Formula 1. But lots of changes near the top of Formula 1 right now.
Yeah, and the same thing is though. The sale of MotoGP to Liberty Media by Dorna have not yet been completed. The paperwork's gone in, but it hasn't yet become official. So all this logo rebrand for MotoGP and all that lot, it's from Dorna. It's not from Liberty Media. They've had no plan. This plan to regenerate the sport has been in the works for a while now. And it all comes part as a rebrand for 2025, which will have new graphics, a new intro, but the same music, and just a refreshed how the production's done.
Yeah, we got the new logo leaked yesterday, which you also sent to me as well, and I've seen a lot of activity on social media about that. And of course, you can catch the MotoGP right after this as well, with their warm-up and all of that taking place, as they now get rid and recover that car of Ogawa as well.
They're so slow here. They're so slow.
Incredibly. incredibly slow. Well, FIA saying again, we don't like the SC on track, guys. Trust me, we love watching racing as much as you. Interesting.
Stop
Thanks,
deploying it
FIA.
then. Yeah, stop deploying it then.
Well, interesting message to everyone who is complaining about the safety car. But yeah, or maybe get the marshals to just be a bit quicker. Let's get the marshals to be a
Oh,
bit
for
more
God's sake, there's still a
quicker.
problem. There's oil down, I think. What's going on? There we go. Let's get going.
Yeah, I thought we could have maybe got 3 laps in, but okay, we're gonna get 2. We're gonna get 2 laps in now as well. So 2 laps of full action. Let's hope no one bins it, because if they do, then that will be the end. Really.
Scott Mitch.
No other.
Yeah.
way.
Scott Mitchell Mouse just put Macau winner Ugo Kacharu dealt with all the nonsense this year. And then he put that 31 seconds ago, 19 seconds ago, likely Macau winner. I was like, does he know something we don't? We've got 3 laps and Ollie Gertz coming in. So, yeah. Oh, for God's sake, this is ridiculous. They are the slowest marshals, I think, in the world. They make Saudi Arabia look competent.
Well, for this type of weekend, we need like Monaco-style marshals.
Yeah.
Really, just really quick. Around a circuit like this, where there's just constant interruptions, especially for a series like this as well. All we need is just incredibly quick marshals. Because with these races, with how laps are, when safety cars go out, we are missing laps on laps on laps, big laps as well. So it does mean that lots of time is being wasted. And we've already had a red flag, which of course wasted 2 laps of this race as well. So just delayed, chaotic, crazy Formula Regional World Cup, of course, with this new machinery and with these drivers. It does definitely mean that all sorts has happened, and well, I guess they are still recovering it then, as marshals now go away from the circuit, back behind the barrier, and hopefully we won't need the marshals again, and hopefully we can actually keep it clean on the penultimate lap, because if we don't, then we'll be back to a safety car, and then we'll finish under that safety car, and that's exactly what happened last year, where we finished under the safety car. So we would like a full-on attack Goethe versus Ugo Gachukwu finish as well. That would be amazing to see. But
Yes!
watching Ugo Gachukwu win would be amazing.
Safety car in this lap. Oh, and pit lane noted infringement for Theonal Nal as well. So the 14's in trouble.
It is in trouble indeed. So safety car is coming into the pit lane, and we're about to get this contest back on the road then. And this is going to be so much fun to see who is going to take the win. Ugo Gachukwu, who's had control ever since he took the pole on the Friday, and he now finds himself having to deal with what he's been a master of so far this weekend. He's had to do it so many times throughout the qualifying race, and also so far in the main race. He's got to do it once again now, and Ugo Gachukwu is going to have the Red Bull Junior, the highly rated Red Bull Junior, Ollie Goethe directly in behind. So this could be, if Goethe gets a good jump, it could be a critical moment in this race. So this is going to be a critical moment now coming up for Ugo Gachukwu in the context of who wins this, as this will be our last restart of the day, most likely, unless we get anything else. But if that is the case, then most likely we will finish under the safety car. Backing the field up, Ugo Gachukwu will lead 2. Once again, get the jump on Ollie Goethe, who will need to try stick with the American driver, who is getting ready. He is trying to catch the whole field out once again. It is going to be some amazing last few laps of action with contact. Are we going to get those last few laps of amazing action? Because there's been contact in the background as Ugo Gachukwu gets the jump, but it was a concertina effect in the background, and it means that we've got a car that has got damage.
Nakaruma with no front tyre. He went up in the air. He's out of the race. That might be a safety car.
could be the safety car. So these could be the last few moments of racing as Nakamura is trying to bring it home, at least to the pit lane. We're racing once again here at Macau, but for how much more longer? As Ugo Gachukwu tries to break the toe, you can see that he's darting all over the road with Goethe closing in. How brave is Ollie Goethe going to feel right now as Slater also closes in? Meanwhile, you've also got Di Paolo closing in on Deligny.
Oh.
Here we go with Ollie Goethe. Can he go for anything brave? Here comes Freddie Slater on Noah Leon as well. Can Freddie Slater make the move and get himself onto the podium? Leon defends. Slater goes on the attack round the outside down to Lisboa, and it's going to be Leon who stays ahead. Slater with better drive on the exit, but he won't be able to get to. That was close in the background as well as Jun was battling, but Goethe is staying with Ugo Gachukwu. But we're going to be running out of corners in this one and laps.
Yin still hasn't been able to get into the pit lane. He's still in the sector 4, so we're getting towards that part of the track now. It might be local yellow because he is still moving. He hasn't stopped yet, so just locals at the moment. Boyer ahead of Bogdanovic in the S's and maternity bed. He made a way through. Bogdanovic almost went in the wall as well, coming through into Lisboa. Dune's up into 8th position, back ahead of Webster, but now all eyes on Goethe. Can he get ahead of Ugo? But look at Freddie Slater. He is trying everything but having absolutely no luck. He's trying on the outside. It can't work. But no Leon, I'm surprised, hasn't received any sort of penalty. He's darting all over the road. You're not allowed to do that. Move once to defend, not 3 times as he's just done.
Really, it has been an extraordinary event, and we're getting to the final stages of it now. Is there anything? Does Goethe have any last push to try and get ahead of Ugo Gachukwu, who is on his way to becoming the second American to win this fabled event as well? The Primers, you can see them dart their way through. Mari Boyer, having started at the back, is going to finish in 10th. He was able to get ahead of Dino Bogdanovic, and that is going now to be Ugo Gachukwu with a 1 second gap as it stands. So he is going to be bringing it home unless there is a late mistake from here for the American, and Goethe is going to be in second as it stands. Leon could be under a bit of pressure from Slater as we go on to the last lap here in Macau.
Yin's got it off the pit lane, and now the other MP's in the wall. That's Matteo Colonaghi's put it in. So yellow flag is out on the circuit. Not a safety car, crucially. They'll end this one under green, but look further back as well. Is that Alexander Dune trying to get ahead as well on the inside of Delani? I think it is. Goethe can't get a run, but look at Freddie Slater going for 3rd place as well. Yellow flag down in turn 22.
Freddie Slater trying to take it away. Can he go for it late to the brakes? Oh! Down the inside, can he make the corner? Is Freddie Slater going to be able to keep it out of the wall? No. Freddie Slater is going to end his race in the barrier. He went all in a battle for 3rd position. He tried to sell the dummy, but unfortunately it's going to end in the wall for him, as Ugo Gachukwu is got the gap to 7/10 right now. But disappointment for Slater, went all in. It was the last opportunity to try and get on the podium, and unfortunately it won't be for the Prima man, who is going to find himself out and in the barrier.
Well, I was right. He listened to me by going on the inside line, but it was the wrong time. I can't believe No Leon is not going to be had a word with by Rui Marquez. So much dangerous driving in the last 5 laps of this race as well, and he contributed to that. He didn't give any enough room. He came across and sort of caught out Freddie. Freddie then outbraked himself, trying to avoid everything, and went straight on into the barrier. But Ugo is going to win, and we've got the local yellows out. We'll end it under green, but what a fantastic run. Dune's ahead of Boyer as well, and the safety car's out.
Well, the safety car is out as well. You've got cars in the barriers at different parts of the circuit. It's gone all wild here in the Formula Regional World Cup with new machinery. Ugo Gachukwu, though, who had a struggling season in this exact machinery in Europe, he has come down to Macau, and 1 year ago he finished 15th in the main race. He is going to upgrade that all the way to the top step. The McLaren Junior, who is heading to Formula 3 next year with Prema, is performing absolutely brilliantly. He will slow it down, and his final task will be to bring it out of the final corner, and he is about to become the second American driver to win this fabled race. Ugo Igachukwu over the line to win the 71st running of the Macau Grand Prix. He beats home Ollie Goethe in second, and Noah Leon will get the final spot on the podium in third. Deligny, Di Paolo, Aldeheri, Webster, Dern, Boyer and Beganovic in P10. But Ugo Igachukwu, after all of the talk of Goethe, Beganovic, Dern and all of the Formula 2 and Formula 3 stars that came in, it is the driver who had a struggling season earlier this year, but he's fought back and he's now the winner of Macau.
America win again on the streets of Macau. Ugo is definitely a rising talent, isn't he? That was such a performance weekend. Everyone expected Ollie Goethe to sweep this one away. But Ugo has just come in, took pole, won the race, and won the Grand Prix as well. Fantastic stuff, because he won qualifying yesterday. Pit lane infringements under investigation for car 14 after the race. But, yeah, 15 finished the race officially. Freddie Slater out of it at sector 1. He has stopped, so 15 finish, 27 started, and I think a penalty might be coming the way as well for Matteo Colonaghi in terms of monetary fine. You're not allowed to leave the car until you've been given permission, and that's the reason the safety car came out, because he was walking along the circuit.
Yep, absolutely. And with Freddie Slater, well, we had one rising star on a weekend who performed brilliantly 1 year ago. Alex Dern, he found the wall in the main race. Same story for Freddie Slater. It's just that corner where basically he had no other choice really. He wanted that final spot on the podium. He wanted to get to P3, and unfortunately he risked it all and it didn't end well for him. Instead it ends all the way right in the wall, and he now finds himself trying now to recover before he jumps in this exact machinery. He's had experience now, and I'm sure he will be doing great things in FIA next year. So cannot wait to see how he will do there. But this man, Formula 3, McLaren Academy as well, part of Prima, who have always been good. New regulations for Formula 3. Is going to be one to watch in that category, and definitely keep an eye on this man. And for anyone who's for anyone doubting why is he promoted to Formula 3 next year, then this exactly proves the reason why. Freddie Slater, too late on the brakes, had to sell the dummy, had to get to the inside, and unfortunately for him, he found himself all the way to the wall.
Yeah, not the best situation for him there, sadly, as well. But well done to Ugo. Warm-up has started for MotoGP. We'll bring you Moto 3 coming up at 9:50 UK time. 11:10 for all the action from Moto 2. MotoGP's title decider. That's underway 1:30. 12:30. Lights out at 1. Myself, Megan, and Lizzie Whitmore in the commentary box joining us. When I asked her, I spoke to her at midnight, and I said to her, yeah, it looks like the race is cancelled for the bikes. Oh, and this is what happened for the car 3. Big impact into the wall. Completely brought it up. Yeah.
Oh, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, I spoke to Lizzie at midnight and said, yeah, the race is cancelled and all that. And I said to her, but are you free for the MotoGP race and the championship? Her exact words are not repeatable on broadcast. Basically, she said, what, for the main race? F, yeah, she said. So, yeah, that came through.
Brilliant stuff. Another thing before we quickly head over to the World Feed, Cooper Webster.
Yeah.
He's had such a brilliant weekend, and I'm surprised he's not even in FIA next year, which is absolutely unbelievable for him. But he will be a talent which we'll see possibly in about 4 years' time, maybe. Hopefully, well, in Formula 3, maybe in a few years' time, 2 years possibly as well. So keep an eye on Cooper Webster, because the performance he's put in this weekend, I haven't heard of his name before this weekend, and he's just come in and performed absolutely brilliantly. But celebrations for Ugo Igachukwu, who is on the top step and the winner of the 71st running of the Macau Grand Prix. Let's head over to the World Feed for all analysis and reactions.
That reputation. There is your Macau Grand Prix winner, a delighted Ugo Igachukwu.
A picture paints 1,000 words in Parc Fermé, doesn't it? The absolute elation And the relief for the teams, it's not just this one race. It has been a long 4 days to get to this point, and a huge amount of work, not just by the driver, but all the team as well. All of the teams up and down the pit lane. But Hugo is going to take all the applause on the top step of the podium. Weigh in, first of all, and then on the way to the podium presentation for the 71st Macau Grand Prix. Every year, Macau delivers. Absolutely superb.
And it's delivered again, hasn't it? So for the R-Ace GP team, Ugo Ugochukwu the winner. For MP Motorsport, Oliver Goethe second. And for the KCMG IXO by Pinnacle Motorsport squad, third, Noel Leon. After that, it was Enzo Deligny, fourth from Matteo De Paolo, and Rashid Deheri in sixth place. Seventh, Cooper Webster from Alex Dunn and Mari Boyer, with Dino Beganovic rounding out top 10. Alexander Abkazova worked his way up from near the back of the grid. Don't forget, Boyer 9th, was 27th on the grid, last of all. Quite something, that. Abkazova 11th, Tuka Tapanen 12th, ahead of Valerio Rinicella. Teofil Neal 14th, but under investigation. 15th, Rikuta Kobayashi. And that was it. Just over half the field made it to the end, because that long, long list of retirements, look, stretches for the next page and a half of the graphic.
So drivers will weigh in, the world's press will assemble on the plinth on the pit wall just opposite this huge podium which was introduced last year, and a chance to look back at the...
Yep, absolutely. As we just quickly take a look at some of the highlights of that race as well. We went racing due to damp patches. We couldn't have a standing start. We went for a rolling start instead. It was Wharton who found the wall, collected his teammate, collected multiple other cars. We had a pile up, and then that caused, of course, the red flag. We got back running. Dune went on the attack. It was a close moment between himself and his teammate Dino Beganovic. Both of these drivers who found the wall in qualifying also were so close to doing the exact same. Lots of chaos as well. We had Kolnagi finding the wall right at the end of the lap. That was a chaotic final lap. We had contact at the restart for Nakamura. That brought the end of his race as well. Multiple cars kept finding the wall. The other MP also went into the wall. Freddie Slater went for it all, trying to take the final spot on the podium. His race ended in the barrier at Lisboa, and Ugo Ugochukwu able to just bring it home with the safety car deployed in the final stages. He brought it home to the checkered flag as the winner, becoming the second American to win this amazing race as well. And congratulations to him on what has been a brilliant weekend, and all of the talk about so many of the drivers, and then he comes in after a season that he wouldn't be happy with in Formula Regional. He comes in and he'll definitely be delighted with that.
Winner until today, so bravo Ugo Ugochukwu. Oliver Goethe taking second place, the German licensed driver, Noel Leon the Mexican, the only palindrome on the grid, finishing third from Enzo Deligny, Matteo De Paolo and Rashid Al-Daheri. Well, I think we always feared it was going to be a little bit interrupted, mirroring what we'd had across practice and qualifying, but when they were going well and giving us plenty to talk about, and it will be a delighted winning driver of Ugo Ugochukwu who will be on that top step of the podium shortly. The drivers have gone through that post-race technical aspect, where of course the cars will be looked at, but as you've seen, the drivers are weighed as well. The podium, the backdrop currently still the big screen, so the fans in the grandstand opposite watching the podium backdrop are seeing what you're seeing as well. And in a moment the doors will open, the organisers of the podium will step forward, so too will the dignitaries, and it's not quite the end of the day for the drivers and the teams, because they prize giving at the Macau Grand Prix is mandatory for drivers and teams. So the trophies they are awarded with on the podium, they sort of give back and then are given again at the prize giving this evening. It's always another feature of this invitation-only event that celebrates its 71st running. And for third place, the KCMG squad, the Hong Kong-based team, MP Motorsport, the Dutch team, taking second place, and the R-Ace GP squad ready to celebrate a race win. The big screen on the podium has now changed picture. It is the backdrop for the Macau Grand Prix with the various sponsors and affiliated bodies represented. There they all are, their logos, and that means that in a few moments' time we'll be able to cross to the podium and the presentation will be conducted for the winning drivers, the winning team, and even if you're only third, there's still plenty to celebrate because that's a very good result at Macau. And just also to make the point that in accordance with local law, the Macau Grand Prix Organising Committee has provided non-alcoholic champagne for this podium celebration. The podium awaits and all eyes are on it. Any moment the doors will burst open, I promise, with the organising party. There's Enzo Dellini, gifted 4th place on that last lap, and describing what he saw ahead of him with Eddie Slater's car. The very, very tall Enzo Dellini taking 4th position. Murray Boyer 9th from the back of the grid. I still think he's quite a remarkable effort as well. The dignitaries from the main grandstand making their way across the circuit. Mr. Hoyat saying, waving and thanking the marshals on that start line gantry as well as he leaves the circuit. So Ugo Ugochukwu, Oliver Goethe and Noah Leon are the drivers that we will have to the podium. And some frustration, for others delight. The other R-Race drivers are 4th and 12th. We've just seen Tuka Tapinen, he was 12th, and 4th Enzo Dellini. So mixed fortunes for the team, but a race win, which is the best result of all. And for many of them, it will be another season of FR racing starting in the early part of next year in the Middle East. For some, it'll be a full season maybe in Europe. Others may move on and up to Formula 2 or maybe Formula 3. Lots of single-seater racing on offer, but I'll pretty much put money on the board that there will be a number of these drivers this year back on the grid next because they want to conquer Macau. Whether Ugo Ugochukwu comes to defend will be quite fascinating, wouldn't it? But you never know how his career is going to take off on the back of this victory today. And the fastest lap of the race also set towards the end on the last lap, in fact. The penultimate lap was Oliver Goethe. So in that big push to try to get onto terms and challenge for the lead, Goethe taking the fastest lap. That's probably about the only blot really on Ugochukwu's day. He didn't quite get the full set of pole, the win and the fastest lap, but hey, he won it.
Never mind.
There's always next year. Yeah.
Must try harder.
Quite. But really, really impressive. And again, just as I said during the course of the race, what he'd achieved in different championships over the year didn't really say winner. No. But the way that he's driven all weekend has. So much of it down to qualifying, and so much of it actually in qualifying because of the stoppages, down to where you are relative to a red flag. And a lot of that's being at the far end of the pit lane. So get a low race number and you let out early. That also pays dividends. We saw in one qualifying session, Prema lagging back to get clear track space, but then they didn't get a lap in before the red flag, and then the weather deteriorated and all conspired against that squad. So there is a huge lottery element to much of life in Macau with all the casinos, and the same is true really of the Grand Prix itself.
So much of it is experience. So young drivers that have experienced the Macau circuit for the first time this year have done so with a huge amount of difference between the track conditions and everything the weather has thrown at us, but they have learnt the circuit. They know what the gear circuit at Macau is all about in every possible weather condition. And you can be sure that so many of these young drivers that have experienced it for the first time this year will do what Ugo has done, to learn the circuit, to learn the weekend, to know what to expect, and to come back and hopefully to conquer.
So there is the winning car. McLaren logos on the side, the doors open on the podium, and that means that the podium announcer is ready, that the team in charge of getting the trophies, the dignitaries, the drivers, all there will be ready as well. We may get a chance to hear from the drivers as well. There is always a post-race press conference as well, which we may well be able to bring you as well. But for now, the cameras are trained on the podium, And once everybody is ready, the signal will be given and we can cross live to the podium. So I can see just through the doorway, lots and lots of people milling around to make sure that you have everybody. Not the work of a moment. Their third place car and the second place car. Noah Leon and Oliver Gerses' Tatius-built chassis. Modern single-seaters, you see the halo there, an absolute must these days for contemporary, for relevant single-seater racing cars, and proved the worth many times over. Already the track work is going on to open up the roads. Some of the circuit vehicles going in either direction, quickly to take down the barriers that can be, to open the gates, to get the traffic flowing as soon as. The roads have to be open by 6 o'clock. If they can be open sooner, they will. So straight away, people go to work. And the coaches are on the track to go and collect the marshals, bring them back to HQ. And it's going to be a busy period all round in Macau for the next few hours as the Grand Prix comes to a close for the 71st time. And just like last year, one of the big thumbs up, again, has been the number of international visitors, of course. When it was very much a local event during COVID, it was just not possible, really, to have so much international attention, so many international visitors. And last year and this, the local organisers, the local businesses, all delighted to see
Ladies and
people come from all
gentlemen,
over the world.
welcome
Let's go
to the
podium for the
closing
71st
presentation
Macau
ceremony
Grand
of
Prix.
the 71st Macau Grand Prix, Macau Grand Prix FIA FR World Cup. So now let's welcome the winning drivers to the podium. The winner is number 4, Ugu Chuku from the USA.
Congratulations!
First runner-up, number 1, Oliver Gotta from the Germany. On second runner-up, number 7, Noel Leon from Mexico.
Felicidades!
Congratulations. And the winning team is RHGP. Let's welcome the representative, Mr. Benjamin Squirt. Welcome. Congratulations. And now, it's time for the national anthem.
Thank you. 現在敦請澳門特別行政區行政長官賀一誠閣下為我哋各位獲獎車手頒獎。May we now invite Mr. Ho Yat-seng, Chief Executive of the Macau Special Administrative Region, to present the laurels and trophies to our winning drivers. First, number 4, Ugu Chuku from USA. Congratulations! And to our first runner-up, number 1, Oliver Gotta from Germany. And our second runner-up, number 7, Noel Leon. Muchas felicidades. And also to our winning team, RHGP. Congratulations. May we now invite our Chief Executive, Your Excellency, to join us for a group photo. 有請長官閣下移步到中間，與咁多位獲獎車手合照留念。
Please look to the front at the cameras. Please look to the front. 我哋一齊望向前方嘅位置影張合照啦。
請長官閣下留步。And now, please welcome the representatives of 4 major sponsors, including Galaxy Entertainment Group, Sense China, SJM Resorts SA, and MGM China, to join us for one more photo together.
And to all our drivers, please remain on your podium. And please look to the front at the media zone's camera as well.
Okay, all right, let's take one more photo together for this wonderful and spectacular moment. 請各位望向前方，我哋再嚟一張嘅合照。Thank you, and now please welcome the 2 premium sponsors, Win Macau and Macau Resorts and Entertainment to join us for one more photograph. 好事成雙，我哋再邀請另外2個本屆特級贊助商代表共同再嚟一張合照。請各位。
All our drivers, please continue to look to the front at the media zone's cameras as well.
感謝長官閣下，亦都多謝各位嘉賓。請各位移步稍作休息。多謝各位。
All the winning drivers, please remain at your current positions. Please remain at your current positions on the podium, please. Thank you, our esteemed guests. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your support and presence. Thank you.
And now we're going to present the trophy by FIA. Would all the drivers please remain on podium and to receive the following trophies. And now may we invite Mr. Emanuele Pillo, the FIA Single-Seater Commission President, to present the trophy to our winner, number 4, Ugu Guchuku.
From the USA, congratulations.
And the trophy to the winning team representative, RACGP. Congratulations. All right, please remain at the center for a group photo together, please. Mr. Pillar, please remain at the center. Thank you. And once again, please look to the front at the cameras at Media Zone. Show us your brightest smile. Thank you. Thank you very much. Drivers, please again remain on podium. And I thank our presenter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Biru. Thank you.
And now it's time for celebration. I would like to invite our drivers to hold the champagne for another group photo, please. And in accordance with local law, the Macau Grand Prix Organizing Committee have provided the non-alcoholic champagne for this podium celebration. And we would like to invite the drivers to just hold the champagne for another group photo, please.
我哋邀請咁多位獲獎車手，我哋手持呢一個不含酒精嘅香檳，再面向鏡頭嚟到一張合照。Please look to the front, one more photo holding our champagne together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please remain as I would like to invite Chris to have a quick interview with all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Janice. Noel, quick word before you go. Well done on the podium. That's a fantastic achievement. In a one-off race like this, when you're in third place, it can be a bit scary because you know the guy in fourth is probably going to have a go, and that's exactly what happened. Talk us through that moment with Freddie at turn 3.
Yeah, obviously it's super tricky. You are in the last spot of the podium, so the guy for sure is going to send it. I knew it. Yeah, I leave a car of space, but it was damp inside, so as soon as he went for it, he locked up and he went straight. So, yeah, quite a smart move from my side. But yeah, really happy to finish on the podium here in Macau.
Enjoyed Macau despite the weather and all the challenges?
Yeah, it was a really tricky weekend, to be honest. We have all type of weather conditions this weekend. This track in the wet and in the dry is just so special. So yeah, thanks for the team for the great job, and yeah, we'll try next time.
Well done, Noel. Second place, runner-up, a great achievement as well. I know you would have wanted to win, Oliver, but it was so tricky, I guess, to try and find the perfect sweet spot with the setup this weekend. A bit of a guessing game, and you also didn't get as many laps as you would have liked in that race to try and find a way through.
Yeah, for sure. We didn't get many dry laps in general in the weekend, so it was tricky to find the perfect setup and to get in the perfect rhythm driving-wise. I was struggling on the restarts to stay very close. The dirty air effect was really strong, and I was struggling to get the tires in for the first lap. Then after, when the race went on, I feel like once I got into rhythm, I was starting to catch him a bit, but then there was, so many safety cars, and on the last restart, I was quite close, but not close enough to make the move. Of course, I would have loved to win, but there's always the next time.
Well, you should be very proud. It was a great effort, Oliver. Well done to you. Here we go. Fantastic. Let me take you back 2.5 years. Your 15th birthday, Donington Park. You're just old enough to race a single-seater. You stick it on pole position in British F4. If I told you then, in 2.5 years' time, you're going to win the Macau Grand Prix, would you have believed me?
Yeah, it's amazing feeling, race everyone wants to win. Yeah, the weekend went perfectly, really. Topped Q2, won the quali race. But yeah, we had one more step to do, which win the main race. And yeah, we've done it, so job done. I want to thank the whole RACE GP team. The car's been perfect all weekend. And yeah, super happy to come out on top.
And you absolutely nailed every restart this weekend. 3 in that race, 1 yesterday. You got that spot on.
Yeah, my goal was to make as big of a gap as possible and push the last 2 corners. As the slipstream's really big, and I managed to do that quite well. Managed to keep the others behind and then just, yeah, push as much as I could through the rest of the lap to create a bit of a gap.
And only the second winner from America, the first one in 43 years. What a feeling. Hugo, you're the World Cup winner. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, amazing feeling. Thank you.
Give a big cheer, your winner, Hugo Chukwu.
Bravo, thank you so much, and thank you, Chris. Once again, congratulations to all winning drivers.
Thank you, and ladies and gentlemen, this perfectly wrapped the 71st Macau Grand Prix. Congratulations once again to all the drivers and riders. Thank you so much for showing us your resilience, persistence, and power. See you again next year.
That was the 71st Macau.
That podium area, I wish it was different. That went on for too long.
It was an incredibly long podium. Well, it has been some weekend. It's been some weekend. It, of course, started off on Thursday, and it's been absolutely wild. And the change to the Formula Regional machinery has caused absolute chaos absolutely everywhere. But they have achieved the goal, of course, of bringing champions and drivers all across different Formula Regional championships as well. And at the same time, it does make more sense to have that because there is only one real Formula 3. In Formula Regional, you've got lots of different classes as well from different countries as well. So, Josh, what is your final thoughts here from Macau as we get ready to wrap up and we look ahead now to 2025?
What a fantastic event. Shame the rain spoiled it. Let's face it, the rain spoiled it. Didn't get all the races in, didn't get the bikes, and yeah, that's a bit of disappointment. But I'm happy that everybody's walked away from this weekend alive. We've had a bad back at the moment for one of the motorcyclists, but everybody has survived the Macau race, which is great to keep saying every year on year. Safety paramount, and I think the right decisions were taken to cancel races as well. But don't you just hate it sometimes? But what a race in GT, what a race in FR, and I think that was a great Macau weekend for them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to everyone for joining us, but don't worry, that's not the end of the action. It's still to happen, of course, today and also across the next few weeks. You have Formula 1 returning from next week, along with Formula 2 and F1 Academy also supporting them. Today, though, you can find the MotoGP races as well, Moto 3, Moto 2, and MotoGP all coming up as well here on JB Motorsports. But from Macau, it has been one absolute brilliant event. We wish best of luck to all of these drivers with whatever they do for the remainder of this year and also going into next year. And we hope to see lots of them return as they try take the crown in 2025. That's when we will see you when we go racing, hopefully in 2025 in the 72nd running of the Macau Grand Prix. Goodbye.